as you can imagine, I get invitations daily to attend one networking event or another. They usually have the same theme. Come out, hear so-and-so speak, or learn how to fill in the blank, whatever the topic is, and meet like-minded individuals. Well, guess what? More times than not, the crowd is either at or below the level of business that I want to be in. I usually can tell based on the price of the event. But more times than not, it's full of people who are new entrepreneurs, licensed salespeople like financial services, insurance, real estate. Nothing wrong with those, but that's not who I need to network with right now, or what I call part-time-preneurs. I am none of the above. So none of them will use my services, and those events will be a waste of time for me. You see, networking isn't just about collecting cards for me. It's about building meaningful connections for me. Attending industry events, joining professional associations, and engaging with other entrepreneurs, that's all cool. And everybody needs some camaraderie, but you got to be strategic about it. You have to learn what works for you and how you can best maximize your networking potential and opportunities. Today, I want to talk a little bit about how we can network strategically and make it work for you. But first, ask yourself 2 questions. Is it really a waste of time to be in a room full of people who are entrepreneurs but can't do anything for me? And how can I get into rooms where I can be around people that I can learn from and build solid relationships with? Welcome back to another episode of Mogul Chicks Chat. I'm your host, Adrienne Graham. I'm the CEO and proud founder of Mogul Chicks, and that's Chicks with an X. I am a serial entrepreneur and a self-made businesswoman who is a strategic business growth advisor, talent management strategist, published author, mentor, investor, and podcast host. Mogul Chicks helps female founders grow and scale profitable, job-creating companies and eventually get them investment ready. We also help groom them into dynamic leaders and CEOs and build legacy wealth in the process. Mogul Chicks is a mindset, a way of life, if you will, and a blueprint for female founders who want to build a legacy of wealth and a generational business empire. We provide strategic business growth solutions and a platform for resources, mentoring, networks, education, and media that shares our stories. Our mission is to take your company from flat to profit generating to job creating to investment ready. My personal mission is to help you build and run a better company, reimagine the way you do business, and build lasting wealth. Oh, and before I forget, make sure you tag Mogul Chicks using the hashtag Mogul Chicks Chat on social media. Make sure you rate the show and leave a comment. It helps people find us. Share the love, share the love. Now, you guys know networking is my favorite topic of conversation. I've been doing it so long, I've had to learn how to do it from the ground up that I've written books about it and I talk about it and I've also taught it. But we're in a different era now. And a lot of those networking events, or what I like to call the dry chicken events, are no longer feasible. They're no longer effective in meeting good people. Now, let me take that back. Not good people, but synergistic people. Yeah, let's say that. More times than not, when I'm invited to these average everyday networking events, I turn it down because there's nothing wrong with them. But usually my target markets are people who have more than one business, making more than 7 figures, has a team, looking to scale, like have proven business models and revenue models, and they have the receipts to prove it. And a lot of times these events only have people who are starting in business or people who are sales professionals or, people who are not my ideal target. Now, here's the thing. I don't go to these events to sell. I like to go to events so that I can build relationships for the opportunities that come along with getting to know people. Now, a lot of people might say, well, that's being bougie. That's being really irresponsible. You should go and meet people where they're at. No, I've been in business a long time. And you guys know I give it to you straight, raw, with no chaser. If you are spending any amount of time networking, it has to make sense for you in the long term. We all know the motto of give, give, get, where you give, and then you eventually ask for your get. There's nothing wrong with that. But see, when you get to a certain level in business, you stop looking for ways to play games. And by that, I mean the niceties, going to the events, listening to people speak, passing out the cards. Yeah, we're not doing that anymore. So while I think those events are fine if you are at that level and you want to be someplace where you're more in a teaching environment or motivational environment, that's fine for you. And call me bougie, but at this stage of the game, I no longer want to be in events where I'm in people's faces. That's not for me. I want to be in the rooms where business is conducted in a bilateral fashion. I want to be in the rooms where leads and opportunities to do real business, real projects are discussed. I want to be in the rooms where I'm learning from those with the wisdom and experience greater than mine and are openly sharing that. And they're opening doors that are usually closed privately and otherwise and costly. I'd rather be networked than to do the actual networking, if that makes any sense. We're not business as usual. If you're looking to build any kind of meaningful business or meaningful connections, you have to build relationships. And industry events and professional associations and these little entrepreneurial meet and greets, those are fine when you're starting out, but you should be going places where you can find mentors who can provide you with guidance and share their experiences and open doors for you. That's what networking is really about. It's not limited to showing up to hear somebody speak at an event. Again, I think those events are fine if you're at that level and you want to be more in a teaching or motivation environment, but it's not long-term sustainable. In the end, it ends up burning you out. When I lived in Atlanta, I would always go to networking events, and it started to be repetitive. It was like the same thing, the same people, the same topics, the same speakers. And everybody was really just spinning their wheels. I mean, maybe a couple of people would get something, like maybe a marketing person would get a client or an accountant or somebody. But for like those real projects, those real business bids and stuff like that, that wasn't happening at that level. And, people might get upset with me for saying it, but I'm trying to be real with you. You guys know I'm going to give it to you real, straight, and raw. I'm very protective of my time and my energy. And if a space doesn't provide a win-win for everybody involved, I don't want to be in it. I won't go to events that the hosts use, as email scrapers, or they want to teach me something that I hire out for, or they want to sell me something, or where you have one or a few people who want to be the center of attention. They're like, look at me, I'm the greatest, I'm the expert, I'm the subject matter expert. I don't care about that stuff. My thing today is, how can we do business together? Not how can I make you my client, not how can you make me your client, but what projects are out there that we can bid on? What government contracts, what corporate contracts are out there that are ready for the taking? How can we move on and do something bigger with our businesses? Those are the kind of conversations that I like to have when I'm networking. You have to be discerning with what rooms you enter, and you have to be intentional about the long game. I posted something earlier about if you want to test your networking gangster, you need to go ahead and join a leads group. Now, with the leads group, let me just give the Cliff Notes version of what those are. Usually those are gatherings where they come maybe weekly or monthly or however they do it. One I can think of is called Le Tip. But you come together, you come to these meetings, and you have to have something to give in order to get. You have to have some leads, some introductions, something going on that you can share with the group. And a lot of people end up dropping out because their intention is to go to these events and find clients, and if that's what it is, that's not where you're supposed to be. So I would take something like a leads event over a general networking event or happy hour any day, because you have to be discerning. You have to put yourself in rooms where the big decisions are made. I want to go to the golf courses. I want to go to the cigar bars. I want to go to where the guys are out there really doing business, and a lot of us women, we don't take those steps because, oh, I don't play golf. Oh, I don't smoke. I don't smoke. I learned how to play golf back in like the early 2000s. I tell a story about how I bought my first women's golf club set from an estate sale. And I paid like $75 and I got the full set of clubs, the bag, the balls, the gloves, everything, the tees, all of that. But I never played and didn't know anything about the game, but I made sure I went out to that public golf course and taught myself. And I started meeting people and having conversations. See, that's the key to networking, is having conversations and then building relationships from there. And by that, I don't mean, hey, if there's anything I could ever do for you, let me know. No, it's, listen, I'm looking to do X, Y, and Z. Do you know anyone who can get me from point A to B? Do you know anyone you can introduce me to? Or, hey, I know about this project coming up, or I know about this bid coming in through the city and would love to have someone partner with me on it. Or even if you just give away a freebie, hey, look, there's a transportation project out there that's not my wheelhouse, but I think you would do great with it. I would love to share that information with you. We look at networking as purely transactional, and it really should not be. We need to be, again, discerning, but we need to be mindful about other people's time and their talent and their treasures. And we need to be extra mindful about ourselves. If it does not fit, do not go. If it's something with the same old, do not go. And I'm not going to name names because I don't want to get in trouble, but there are certain events that I will never go to again, not even as a speaker, because it's like a feel good thing. They get motivated and it's all hyped up and everything. And then Monday morning, they either go back to their jobs or go back to whatever they were doing and don't make any traction. So in these days, the way I look at networking is strategy. It's how can I help you? How can you help me? How can we make this together? How can we make this money? And if you're not thinking like that with your networking, then I don't know what to tell you. But be mindful with who you associate with and why. And most importantly, know what you can bring to the table as leverage. And no, just knowledge is not enough in those kind of rooms. You got to come with more than, hey, I know this, that, and the other. You have to come with some receipts. You have to come with something tangible that you can share with people that you're networking with in these rooms. Because remember, when you are fortunate enough to get into these rooms, it's time to show and prove, baby. So tell me a little bit about what you think. I know I come with some hard-hitting stuff and you probably got a little turned off by my networking requirements. But like I said, it is strategy. But let me know what your hesitations are for networking, and let me know what worked and didn't work for you in the comments. I'm Adrienne Graham, CEO and founder of Mogul Chicks, and this has been another Mogul Chicks Chat. I want to help you build a better, more profitable company. Make sure you check out the other episodes, and if you like what you hear, share the love. Pass the link on to your friends. You can find this podcast wherever podcasts are streamed, and of course on the Mogul Chicks website. Make sure you subscribe, and if you do, leave a comment on any or all of the channels. It helps other people find the podcast too. Sharing is caring. For more information about how we work with you to grow and scale your company, visit us online at mogulchicks.com, send an email to contact@mogulchicks.com, or you can connect with us all over social media at Mogul Chicks. And remember, that's Mogul Chicks with an X. If you're not yet part of the Mogul Circle, if you're doing over $1 million in revenue annually, what are you waiting for? There's so much value in memberships and the community. If you prefer a good program or trying to move beyond startup phase, check out the Mogul Chicks Academy at mogulchicksacademy.com. I'll catch you on the next episode. And remember, Mogul Chicks are always a step ahead of the crowd, and they're always closing deals. Mogul Chicks make mogul moves and power plays. Your move. Now go be profitable. Bye.